This is Amara Rashid, online math class. Today we'll start permutations, our first video for permutation. So of course we can see problem 1. So for every video, I label the problem. Alright. We have 3 relations here we want to prove today. The first one is we want to show that n permutation 1 is equal to n. We want to show that n permutation n is equal to n factorial. We want to show that n permutation 0 is equal to 1. Alright, so imagine if as you are solving problems involving permutations, you have like, now let us create a scenario for n permutation 1. Let's say like 7 permutation 1. So if it is stated that n permutation 1 is n, then we can deduce that 7 permutation 1 is 7. Likewise, 10 permutation 1 is 10. So what about x permutation 1? It is x. How about 100 permutation 1? It's 100. So that is what we want to show. Again, we want to show that n permutation n is n factorial. So it's like if you have 7 permutation 7, the result you get is the same as if you just say 7 factorial. Very, very interesting. If you have 5 permutation 5, the result you get is the same as if you simply say what? 5 factorial. Again, the third one, we want to show that n permutation 0 is equal to 1. So this means if we have like 5 permutation 0, the result is just 1. So it is interesting that 5 permutation 0 is 1. How about if we change this to 10 permutation 0? It is still 1. Even if we keep increasing the number to 20 permutation 0, we still get 1. This one is very, very interesting. Now let us see how we prove all this. Alright, if we want to show that n permutation 1 is equal to n, we consider the left hand side. We consider the left hand side. What do we have on the left hand side? Is n permutation 1. But generally, for permutations, n permutation r, the formula says n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. So this is the formula for permutation. N permutation r is equal to n factorial, what you have at the top, factorial, divided by the top minus the bottom here, factorial. So if that be the case, we want to show that this is equal to n. Now with n permutation 1, we work with the formula. So we say n factorial divided by n minus r. So here we say n minus 1. N minus 1. Factorial, then here you will say factorial. So we say n factorial divided by n minus 1 factorial. This one with the minus sign cannot generate n, but n can generate this one. So n factorial can also be written as n minus n multiplied by n minus 1. We can even choose to stop here. Why? Because we've seen this one already. Then we divide by what? N minus 1 factorial. So n minus 1 factorial takes away n minus 1 factorial. So what remains is n. So this tells you that n permutation 1 will give us n. So we prove this one. Now we go to the second one. We want to show that n permutation n is n factorial. But generally we say n permutation r gives n factorial divided by n minus r. N minus r factorial. Okay? So let us consider the left hand side. So from what? The left hand side. What do we have on the left hand side is n permutation n. If this is generally the formula for permutation, now this is what we have to work for. So what we have at the top takes the numerator with a factorial. So what we have at the top, n, takes the numerator with a factorial. So the superscript minus the subscript with a factorial. The superscript here is n minus the subscript n with a factorial. We can see it. So if that be the case, we say n factorial divided by n minus n is 0 factorial. So n factorial divided by 0 factorial gives us what? 1. So whenever the denominator is 1, we can ignore the denominator. So what do we have? N factorial. So therefore, n permutation n is actually equal to n factorial. I hope this one is good. Now we come to the last one. We want to show that n permutation 0 is equal to 1. So this one is very, very interesting. Whatsoever positive number you think of, once you say permutation 0, the result is 1. Okay. Now here, we also consider the left-hand side. We consider the left-hand side. On the left-hand side, we have n permutation 0. All right. But generally, n permutation r is n factorial divided by n minus r. We can see it with a factorial. So if we have this time around n permutation 0, what do we say? N factorial divided by n minus 0. N minus 0 factorial. Good. So we say n factorial. So whatsoever we use to say minus 0 is the value itself. X minus 0 is x, 5 minus 0 is 5. Whatsoever minus 0 is what we have. So we say n minus 0 is n. There is a factorial. When a number divides itself, we have 1. So this gives us 1. So therefore, n permutation 0 will give us 1. Let us see something here. What if we say 6 permutation 0? Let's see if we can get 1. Well, we can say 6 factorial divided by 6 minus 0 factorial. So we say 6 factorial, 6 minus 0 is 6 factorial. This will give us 1. So even if you have 30 permutation 0 is 1. 100 permutation 0 is 100. So if you like the video, don't forget to like and share. Thank you.